London Real, sponsored by Bulletproof Coffee.
Break down the Navy SEAL training, really quick.
Dude.
It was a week. I'm from, Del Mar.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, really? I'm in a similar area. What were the details of it? Did you stay on site?
So this is put on by Commander Mark Devine, and he runs U.S. CrossFit in Encinitas, California, and he does this thing called the SEAL Fit Academy, which is about 5 to 7 hours a day of training and what are called they're called the SEAL Fit WODs. So they're like the CrossFit WODs, but they're like the CrossFit WODs times 10. I mean, these WODs take you like 3 hours to do. Okay. And that's just like part of your day. And a lot of times it's a 2-a-day of those WODs.
If you're not a CrossFitter, WOD stands for workout of the day, and they post them all the time, and you usually post your time to do it. But the normal ones are 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, for these, you start off with mobility. And like the first day we showed up for mobility, it took us 2 hours. We were literally doing like every form of push-ups and jumping jacks and sit-ups and lateral movements, and like it got into sandbags and Turkish get-ups with a kettlebell, and we finally got done and everybody's sweating and we're like ready for breakfast, and then Commander Devine's like, okay, now we're gonna do the WOD. And it's just like, it's a crazy amount of volume, but these guys are SEALs, right? They're used to just like suffering for days and days on end, carrying 100-pound packs around with weapons and having their lives on the line while they're doing it. So
he's going light on you guys. There's no SEAls with you.
Well, we don't have they put us through because SEAls actually go to this camp. It's called Kokoro.
Okay.
They go to it to either get ready for BUD/S training or to touch up on their skills afterwards. And so this is about everything that they experience without weapons and without boats. Like they take away the things that could kill you.
Right. Okay.
Just because of the liability risk. But they beat you up mentally. They fly in like SEALs, and they actually, if you look at the photos from the event, a lot of the guys have their faces blurred out because they're still out in Afghanistan killing people, and so they can't show them on the photos. But they're there, like driving you on 26-mile night hikes, and they do like surf swim torture where you're lying in the ocean for 5 hours from like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and the waves are just battering you, and it's super duper cold in San Diego once you're in the water for that long. So you're shivering, you're hypothermic, you stand up every hour, and they have you put your hands above your head. And if you can't put your hands above your head, that means you're so hypothermic that you can't move anymore. So then you got to go do burpees or push-ups or sprints to get your body warm enough so that you can go back in the water and get your face blasted with sand again and lay in the surf and the dark and the seaweed, and you're all like, everybody's there linking arms and trying not to let each other float away. And then, for example, we did a 26-mile night hike. We did that. We got back to the facility, and this was just one day. We got back to the facility. We had to do what's called MRF, which is a CrossFit workout. That's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats. So it was MRF with a weighted pack. And then it was really, we finished that. I think this was a day before it ended. And they took us out. One of the commanders, Coach Cummings, he's like, congratulations, you guys. We're taking you to a pancake breakfast. And so we were all looking at each other, and this is after eating MREs for like the past 2 days,
which
just
don't
like
taste
nasty
good.
Like tomato soup that's supposed to last 10 years, and just so many preservatives and just nasty stuff that gums you up. So pancake breakfast sounds pretty good. So they march us at like a half mile down the alley to this tiny little diner that they'd reserved a bunch of tables in, and it's Coach Cummings. There were like 6 other of the SEAL Fit guys there, like the commanders and the instructors, and they say, okay, what you're going to do is go in there, you're going to eat everything on your plate, you guys have 1 hour, then you're going to march back out here. I want you to stay silent, eat your food, and come back out. And so they bring us these huge buttermilk pancakes, like the really, really dense ones that are like bubblegum to chew. I mean, like these things are just super duper dense, and syrup and coffee and peanut butter and eggs and bacon and hash browns and ketchup on these huge plates, right? Like these huge dinner plates. And we eat our breakfast, and there's a few guys, and there's a couple of girls there. There's like a firefighter and a strength coach, so a couple of females, mostly dudes. A few of the guys are turning a little bit pale. You can see that they're pretty full, a little bit of a food coma, a little bit of food sickness. And then they bring out another plate. Same thing. Boom, got to eat it all. So they stuffed us and stuffed us, and we were literally sick. Like guys were getting blue, guys were like starting to vomit there in the restaurant. Like it was really, really bad. So we came out, and like people are already throwing up. Like as soon as they stumble out of the restaurant, they're like throwing up pancakes in the back alley. And they take us off running down the alley, and we spent the next 2.5 hours working out on a hill in the sun in Encinitas. Uphill burpees, backwards bear crawls, partner carries, hill sprints, like everything. And this just went on for days and days and days.
And you knew this was going to happen going in? You knew it was going to be 7 days of this?
You go in. Well, the first,
Did you sleep there, or did you sleep somewhere else?
Last like 60 hours that are really, really hard.
Okay.
The first few days you do get to sleep. Like you get to some points where they like rip you out of bed and throw you in the ocean. And so you kind of get to the point where you're sleeping, but you're afraid to actually fall asleep because you know somebody could be storming into your room and pushing you out onto the grinder and spraying cold water in your face and telling you suck and you need to go home. And blindfolding you and having you balance on a log and do overhead press, just like every single way they can beat you up mentally and physically. And you get to a certain point where, and this was like on a Sunday afternoon after the week, where their Commander Mark Devine, he's the guy who runs it, he just comes out, and I did the 34th one, like the 34th time that they've run this, and he comes out and he's just like, Kokoro 34 secured. And this is at a point where we were all standing out in the grinder with 400-pound logs hoisted over our head, about to carry them down to the ocean, where we were told we were going to be doing sit-ups with the logs out in the ocean. And he just comes out and he's like, boom, done. Congratulations.
Right. So
no medal, no trophy. We got a T-shirt.
Okay.
So
they're
anyways,
messing with you constantly mentally. You don't know when it's going to stop.
But I mean,
okay. Did anybody ring the bell or leave or?
2 people. We only lost 2 people.
Okay. Out of what?
Really
20?
good. We had 19.
Okay.
So we dropped down 7. So it was really not bad.
That's good.
So we did well, but I left there, and I told you earlier, like I literally felt like a god among men. Like flying home on the airplane and in the airport with all the people walking through in their jeans and plaid shirts and their suits, and I've just got like, my knees are all bloody, and I've got my pain is the feeling of weakness leaving the body T-shirt on, and I'm just covered in just like, I'm still dirty, I've still got sand coming out my ears, and you're walking through the airport full of people, and you're just like, you do not understand. I just got as close to death and to living all at the same time that you're ever going to experience. And everything I've done since then, every workout I've done, every race I've done, everything I've done has been easy.
Wow.
Like I can freaking just like fall asleep in an airport, laying on the ground with no blanket, nothing like, and it's just like all of a sudden discomfort is not uncomfortable. So that it was worth it. Like it was really hard, but totally reinvented my idea of discomfort and what the human body is capable of.
This week on London Real, we have movement artist Ido Portal.
So people think it's about handstands and, jumping on the rings and doing flips or whatever, when actually our work is way, way beyond that. It's a completely different and a huge paradigm shift in the way that you think about your practice and your movement and your body. We all have a body and we all move. We have no choice. The only question is how well are you doing it? And most people just don't have the user manual for their own machinery. Changing your dogma takes guts. I don't believe in planning. I believe in reacting. I'm not a messiah. I'm a thinker. I'm a teacher. I'm a mover. I'm being Ido. I'm just trying to handle myself in that way and be genuine.
On Sunday, London Real presents Ido Portal. Just move.
Walk beside me. Don't walk behind me.